This is a recording for the script for Part A of Assignment 2 for ESP2200 by Samantha Dodds. The unit planning question is based on Unit 3 of the English 2019 version 1.3 General Senior Syllabus and is entitled Textual Connections. The unit revisits and builds upon students' understandings from Unit 1 and Unit 2 of how meaning and perspective are shaped by the relationships between language, purpose, text, context, and audience. It achieves this by revisiting these concepts and then by building students' understandings by teaching them these themes to a more complex level. In addition to building upon teachings from Unit 1 and Unit 2, this unit has also been developed with Unit 4 in mind. An example of this is the summative assessment that has been developed for this unit. Within Unit 4 of the General Senior Syllabus for English, it is stated that the internal assessment must be a written response that must be written in a 2-hour time frame. To help prepare students for this task, in Unit 4, an essay that examines textual features was selected, giving students an early opportunity to further develop their essay writing skills within a 5-week time frame prior to being asked to write an essay under exam conditions. The Stage 3 learning plan of the presented unit plan has been developed using the subject matter described in the syllabus for Unit 3. That is, a unit plan based on students learning to work with text in context, for students to learn to work with language and textual analysis, and for students to learn how to respond and create text. The unit was created using the backward design model for curriculum planning and was built around the summative assessment. The Stage 3 learning plan outlines how through the study of a variety of different texts, as well as the text chosen for the summative assessment, students will be able to create and analyze representations of concepts, identities, times, and places in text. The summative assessment that will be developed as a result of this unit plan will be a written response in the form of an essay for an online publication. The assessment asks students to select a focus question from a list of questions provided by the teacher and write a considered response to their selected question in essay form for an online magazine. The subject of the essay will be 2 texts, F. Scott Fitzgerald's 1925 novel, The Great Gatsby, and Baz Luhrmann's 2013 film of the same name. Each focus question is centered around examining the representations of a theme in the 2 texts, and depending on which focus question is chosen, students can choose to write about how the text, that is the novel and film, represent the motives of gender, class, and symbolism. The assessment was designed to give students choice, as studies have shown that when students are given choice, there is an increase in engagement, student interest, and learning. The novel for the assessment was selected from the Queensland Curriculum and Assessment Authority's prescribed text list, as the unit requirements state that students must be given the opportunity to engage with at least one literary text from the prescribed text list. The second text, the film, was chosen as a transformation or adaptation for the novel. This choice was made because the syllabus states, from Topic 1 of Unit 3, that the study of this topic must include 2 texts that either link by their representations or are transformations of adaptations of literary texts. The assessment tasks 3 focus questions for students to base their thesis for their essays on, and are adapted from an example for text and focus combinations in the syllabus. The example suggests an examination of representations of themes in 2 texts from different times and places. In keeping with this idea, the focus questions ask students to essentially compare and contrast the themes of gender, class, and symbolism in Fitzgerald and Luhrmann's representations of The Great Gatsby. In adapting the example for the task from the syllabus, it helped to ensure that the task met all of the 11 syllabus assessment objectives for Unit 3. According to the Queensland Studies Authority, the main purpose of formative assessment is to help students attain higher levels of performance. The 3 formative assessments that have been chosen for this unit are a weekly reflective journal of students' understandings and thoughts for the week's lessons, homework question responses from teacher-developed questions from the lessons, and chapter summaries of the novel for the summative assessment. The information that these formative assessments would provide a teacher teaching this unit would be considerate and would allow the teacher a means to determine ways in which the unit could be modified to enhance students' understanding and subsequently attain higher levels of performance. In addition to providing information to the teacher teaching the unit, the formative assessment also links to the unit objectives and the summative assessment for the unit. According to Costa and Kallick, learning and work can be enhanced when it is reflected upon, and that reflection can also encourage insight and complex learning. The weekly reflective journals provide students with a reflection instrument that could allow them to achieve and have a more meaningful, insightful, and complex learning of the objectives in the unit and the novel for the summative task. The written responses to teachers' developed questions that students would receive for homework and the chapter summaries of the novel could allow students to further synthesize their learning of the objectives and the text for their assessment task.